I think it's going to be really interesting. Talking about a break with the pasts, there is speculation that Chivu will move away from Inter's 3 at the back. And they've been playing that forever and a day. If he goes something like 4-4-2 or a slight difference at the top, that'd be a massive change for them.
Let's start off today's show talking about Inter Milan, the runners-up in the Champions League Final just a few weeks back. Looking at how they went out of that tournament in Munich in the final, losing 5-0, how much pressure, Nico, is on them to perform at the Club World Cup?
Depends how much pressure the fans put on them. I don't know how European fans interpret this tournament, really. I see it from a South American lens, and this is everything to them. I wonder how Manchester City feels if they get knocked out in a quarterfinal, if Inter gets knocked out in a semifinal. I wonder how much pride they will carry with them, that badge, whoever wins, that badge of world champions. I know South Americans, they'll talk about it to the end of their existence. If they win this Club World Cup, they will be World Cup champions. There will be a parade awaiting them whenever they arrive. But I don't know if the Europeans feel the same way. So to answer your question, I don't know what type of pressure. It almost feels like a preseason before the preseason for Chivu to kind of understand who he has at his disposal, what type of team he wants to build.
And I do want to talk about Chivu in a minute, but we do have a European sitting at the desk with us. What do you think it means for the Inter fans? If nothing else, maybe not for the title, but maybe individual performances to respond after that loss on May 31st?
Well, picking up what Nico said there, how do the Europeans feel? I think there's at the moment a kind of studied indifference, and they're not quite sure. But like anything else, as the tournament progresses and as it gets whittled down to quarterfinals, semi-finals, etc., it grows in stature in the minds of those fans. So the clubs that get knocked out early, I would imagine the Europeans will be, whatever. They're not that bothered about it. But if they progress, then they may not hold it in the same exalted status that you were saying about maybe a South American team if they won it. But no, they will hail it. They will absolutely hail it. And the tournament as well. I think the tournament will grow in people's minds in terms of status. For Inter, obviously, I was there that night. They didn't get beaten 5-0. They got absolutely annihilated. It was spectacular, but credit goes to PSG. It was one of the most amazing things to ever witness. So he's got a big job on his hands, and it's about lifting them. And in a way, it was probably a sensible thing for the old coach Allegri to go. Inzaghi to go, because how does he lift them? He prepared those tactics. It was his squad. So with a new coach coming in, I mean, Bastoni was asked yesterday, the defender, and what could he say? He said, well, we've just got to get over it. These things happen, and we've got a new beginning, and we start now. I like the new coach. I like what he's bringing. So they're trying to get over it as quickly as possible. So I don't think it's necessarily about the status of this competition for Inter Milan, but it's about moving on quickly. So I think it's come at a good time.
Yeah, the key word that's going, Lautaro Martinez said this, Christian Chivu said this, everyone's saying this. It's turning the page on what happened in Munich with PSG. Right. And as a player, there's the best thing you can hope for is to have a game of meaning. Short-term memory. Having a game of meaning, having a tournament of meaning, I think this could be good for Christian Chivu more than anyone else. These players, there's a lot riding on this summer for Inter, because there's a bit of discontent. You might lose players that have been the heart and soul, but not Bastoni. Acerbi, there's links with him moving to Saudi Arabia, but for Christian Chivu, the big thing, and Nico, you, Nigel, and I talked about this, it's getting that credibility, that buy-in from this aging squad. And the most important player that he has to get that buy-in from is Lautaro Martinez.
I want you use the word aging squad, and that's incredibly important to point out with this Inter squad, that there's also an incredible amount of money on the line in this Club World Cup. They're calling it a $1 billion tournament. You get $10 million just for showing up. But for Inter, that needs millions of dollars to make big transfers with this veteran side. How important is that financial aspect of this game?
For certain clubs, this is huge. For the likes of Bayern, that needs to provenly balance their books, because there are members of the club that put their life on the line, right? Or not their life on the line, but they have skin in the game, let's just say it, right? And for a club like Inter, who achieved a Champions League Final runner-up last season against clubs with an extraordinary budget. Any money is welcome at this point. So, yes, I do think that's why this tournament is different to any other international club tournament that we've seen before, either the Intercontinental Cup or the previous iteration of the Club World Cup. From a budget perspective, this is very important.
One quick thing. I think it's going to be really interesting. Talking about a break with the past, there is speculation that Chivu will move away from Inter's 3 at the back. And they've been playing that forever and a day. If he goes something like 4-4-2 or a slight difference at the top, that'd be a massive change for them.
Yeah, it will, especially in the psychology of these players that have been used to hearing one voice, one system that's brought them a ton of success. I look in the midfield department because the age really showed in that PSG match in the final. That midfield core. Henrik Mkhitaryan looked every bit of a mid-30-year-old. I mean, he played himself into the ground, and this is where if you get money from the Club World Cup, that helps your coffers significantly in the transfer window. I mean, this is going to be a massive summer revolution, both at the Club World Cup and when the season kickstart later on for Inter.
What a motivating factor for Mkhitaryan to give it his best, to have Inter progress as much as they can in the tournament, only for them to buy a midfielder to replace him.
Inter coach Christian Chivu with a lot to prove as well. Just 13 senior games managed up until this point, so this tournament of the utmost importance to him as well.